So Paul and Barnabas are hanging out in Antioch. They're doing the missionary thing. They're doing the big tour. They've been to Derbe and Lystra. Massive impact for the gospel. Paul's habit was to go to the synagogue and share with the Jews about the revelation of the Messiah, Jesus of Nazareth. And when the Jews wouldn't listen, he would go to the Gentiles and speak to them. He would take the Jews that are interested and he would minister to those, and then he would go to the Gentiles. And they've been doing this big tour, and they've gone through Derbe and Lystra, and there's been a big turnout, and there's been a big response. There's been really positive numbers flocking to the gospel of Jesus Christ. And then on the other side of that scale, there has been huge opposition. There has been trouble. There has been strife. There has been accusation. There has been persecution. And the first thing I think that we need to understand as people is that wherever the gospel is preached, there will be a response. It may not be the response that you are hoping, praying for, or desiring for, but you will get a response. There will be those whose hearts light up at the call of grace that comes sovereignly through the Lord Jesus Christ, and their lives, like that, are switched on to the truth of who Jesus is. And there are those who will take out the sword and try and slay you with it. Or they'll beat you, stone you, and throw you out of the city as one who is dead. Or they'll call you names and accuse you of all kinds of things. But wherever you preach the gospel, there is going to be a response. So don't be surprised, dear brothers, dear sisters, when you see a response to the preaching of the gospel in your own lives or in the life of us corporately as the church. When people hate and revile you, when people say, I never want to have anything to do with you again, get away from me. You've changed. You're not the person you used to be. We don't want that relationship anymore. You've gone weird. You God botherer. Don't be surprised. And don't be surprised when those whom you never expected, those who were never the closest to you, but those who were on the periphery, look at you and go, wow, something really weird and kind of special and radically different has taken place, and I need to know more about this because you've changed. Or I hear this word that you're preaching, I hear these things that you're saying, and it's so radically different to anything else I've ever heard before, but at the same time, there's something about it that is so compelling and so beautiful, and although I'm repulsed by it on one level, I'm so drawn to it on another. Wherever you preach the gospel, there is going to be a response, and particularly when it comes to religious people. People who are religious in nature, committed to the law keeping and obedience to all sorts of rules, you can guarantee that you're going to get a response from them, because the last thing they want to hear is freedom by grace. The last thing they want to hear is that we are all equally sinful, all equally broken, all equally separated from the life of God and under His condemnation. And as we are all equally under that same condemnation because of our own sin, sinfulness, hypocrisy, and brokenness, we all come to that place of salvation in God by the same means, the grace of God shown through Jesus Christ, not by any goodness or any righteousness that is ours. Religious people don't like hearing that. Religious people want to make you work for it, because religious people then get to say, you can be more like me rather than being more like Jesus. And religious people get to look down their noses at everybody else who isn't doing what they believe to be is right, or don't look the way they deem to be appropriate, or don't dress in the style that they say people should do, or don't hang out with the people that they think they should, or don't listen to the right kind of music, or watch the right kind of films, or wear too much jewelry, or blah, 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 and on it goes. Religious people hate the preaching of the gospel. So don't be surprised when you get a response from them.